Come on down to the Columbia City Theater for our spooky haunted theater. See the ghosts, ghouls, and get the fright of your year. October 19th, 26th, and 31st from noon to 6 p.m. Geared towards 11 years old and younger. Visit thecolumbiacitytheater.org for more info.
Hello, listener. What's important to you about what's going on in your community? Are you interested? Are you concerned? In any case, I invite you to tune into my show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio App. Why? I will be covering a wide range of topics important to you and impacting the community. Each show will have a special guest or guests to share with you information on a variety of subjects that are happening here and now in Seattle. I promise I will work hard to make my show informative, interesting, and entertaining. Be sure to listen to Seattle Here and Now on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Closing the digital divide and ensuring that Washington State continues to be a national leader in the space of digital equity is a core mission of the Washington State Office of Equity. It's a commitment of the Office of Equity to not only bring digital equity, but digital equality to ensure that young learners in the smallest cities in our state have the same equal footing as those in our most affluent neighborhoods. The Washington State Office of Equity, bridging the digital divide across the evergreen state.
Turn up your radio wherever you at. We about to bring it.
Street Beat.
Yeah.
With Tony B.
Tony B will give you a chance to tackle local, national, and international issues that affect your community.
Street Beat. Street Beat. Who, Tony?
Hey, this is serious. Let's talk about saving lives. Fentanyl overdoses are rising, and it can happen to anyone. But here's the good news. Naloxone, also known as Narcan, can reverse an opioid overdose. Yeah, it's that powerful. Naloxone is easy to use, and it could save a life in minutes. It comes as a nasal spray, and you don't need to be a doctor to use it. If someone you know overdoses, spray it in their nose, call 911, and stay with them. You could be the reason they wake up.
Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching another episode of Real Estate and Money. My name is Tina Lombard.
And I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
It is a great season to be remembering Filipino History Month and this great month of October. And we're going to be bringing you everything you need to know about Philippine history.
Yeah, and then some.
Yes. So first of all, let's talk about our heritage. So of course, I am half Filipino. My mother is from the Visayan Islands. She is from Cebu. And we live in the Philippines for just a little bit, and we live in Guam. And I am wearing a traditional bolero. See the butterfly sleeves? Yes, yes.
That is beautiful.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. But I pop it out now and then. Yes.
He looks more Filipino than I do.
Oh, no.
I'm a fake Filipino, remember? Folks?
No, you're not a fake Filipino. So, V, tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay, my parents are both from the Philippines. My dad from Batangas, my mom from Kamaling, Tarlac. Mm-hmm. I was born in the Philippines and left when I was 4. Okay. And we went from the Philippines to Vancouver, BC for 4 years, and then moved down to the Lakewood, Tacoma area.
Very good. Wow. So we are both Filipino, talking about Philippine History Month. So
I'm 100%.
So in Seattle, there are so many different, it's very, very diverse. And there are, of course, a lot of Filipinos, a large celebration. There's always a large community, and there's several celebrations like Pigdiriwan, Pista Sanayan. There's always Santo Niño celebrations going on. And I'm missing something, aren't I?
That's the 2 that I have.
Yes.
And there's always big celebrations and parades around Christmas, the holidays.
Yes. Pasco. Yes. So, we're here today just kind of celebrate our culture, tell you a little bit about everything. As far as homes are concerned, Violeta is going to go over some of the things Filipino families look for in homes. So you want to stay and talk about that?
Yeah. You want me to talk about the home itself?
Yes. So let's talk about when we buy homes.
Okay. Well, when we buy homes, it's usually multi-generational. We have an our parents, our grandparents, aunt and uncle, cousins, that a number of these people will probably apply for a loan and then live together. They all work and hardworking people, 1 or 2 jobs each person. But yeah, that's how we live. And in the city of Seattle, a lot of the Filipinos live up in Beacon Hill, in the Chinatown area. And there's the Filipino community village in the Rainier Valley, mountain, I think in the Rainier or Martin Luther King area. And it's a community with a lot of affordable housing around it, around the community center. And that is one of the villages that I know of. And then the other one is so new, very, very new, the Bob Santos, Uncle Bob's place. And it's an affordable housing structure. And I think Tina has a picture of it, and it's in Chinatown on South King Street and 7th, on the corner of Chinatown, where you have 126 units in this new affordable housing complex. And people, I was in the area recently, and there's so many people out and about now in Chinatown, like it used to be. And so we have this area where a lot of shopping at Wajimaya.
Yes.
And then a lot of restaurants in the area. But there are 1 to 3 bedroom units in this complex, Uncle Bob's place. And Uncle Bob, by the way, is a famous community leader, activist. And we will show you a couple pictures of that place right now. But we tend to, us Filipinos, we tend to migrate where there are other Filipinos. Absolutely. And where our churches and schools are located. So it doesn't have to be in the heart of Seattle. They're moving to the outskirts where there's more affordable housing, if that's what you're looking for, more space. And so we see a lot of Filipinos in Federal Way, in Tacoma, in Linwood, for example, Marysville. But,
and Lakewood and Tacoma.
Yeah, Lakewood.
Silicon.
I grew up there, and that's because JBLM, the Joint Base, McCord, Fort Lewis complexes are down there, and a lot of the people in the military are Filipinos. So
Romanian, Filipino.
Yeah, so they're down there in the Lakewood area. And
yes.
So I think, as far as I know, in the Seattle area, Seattle, Washington, that's where a lot of people have come to. And originally, back to the history part of Philippine American History Month, a lot of people came in the 1587, October 18th. So that's why it's celebrated in October, because that's when the first recorded Filipinos arrived in Morro Bay, California.
Right.
So that they moved from California to it, so that there's a lot of people in the LA area, San Francisco. Those are the big populations of Filipinos that have come to this country.
Yes, and what people realized, Filipinos came over here and they were aristocrats. They had, they came via, Spain, and Spain landed in the Philippines, and they came here as aristocrats. So a lot of them are they were very much a part of naming San Francisco, New Mexico, Los Angeles. A lot of them are very instrumental in that. So we came over here not just as migrants, whatever, but we were aristocrats, and we settled to California and parts of Mexico. So we've had our footprint in the United States here for many, many, many years, not just the 1920s or the influx of the 20s or the 30s or the 50s or the 60s. We've been around.
Yes, and there is Daly City, and around San Francisco, Daly City is a huge community of Filipinos.
Yes.
All of them, 100%.
Yes,
in Daly City.
Yeah, and it's something because Daly City is one of these places where you can get Filipino food. You don't even have to speak English. It's at some point. My brother lives in Napa Valley. It's the same thing there. He actually moved to Napa Valley because he wanted to be close to the Philippine culture. He wanted his daughter to grow up surrounded by Philippine culture. And then I know that there was an original Filipino village in Louisiana.
Oh,
almost 500 years ago. There was a
wow.
village in Louisiana that was a Philippine village. So we have been around and we still
Yes, we
remain.
have, and then there's a lot of Filipinos in New York,
Yes. There-
Nevada. What's the other thing that people like, besides
It's the gambling.
gambling? Yeah, gambling.
Gambling,
Yes.
yes. Yes. So now as far as people buying homes, V, as a realtor, what do Filipino families look for when it comes to homes?
Well, optimally, number of rooms in the home, and
Yes.
then at least 2 bathrooms.
Mhm.
You can fit a number of people. I was watching a video, Tina, about a Filipino home in the Philippines,
Mhm.
and it was like really a square space.
Yeah.
And you walk in, and immediately there's a tiny little couch to the right where it's the living room.
Yes.
And then straight ahead is a small L-shaped kitchen up
Mhm.
against the wall. And then next to that is a bathroom, maybe a shower, can see the shower. And then in the bedroom, one bedroom, there is 5 people sleeping in that one bedroom, tiny bedroom, couple mattresses on the ground,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and then a TV in that room.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, okay.
That's the space. But back in the day, we learned about the Bahay Kubo. Do you know what that is?
No.
The little huts that the Philippines were
Yes.
known for.
Yes.
And they're made out of bamboo. They're on stilts. They're on material that withstands the weather and all that, but on stilts because there's a lot of flooding in the Philippines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yes, there
And
is.
then here we have flooding too, but that's because of
Yeah.
our seasons. Anyway.
Yeah. So
what
as far
else?
as kitchen, that sort of thing, do they look for recreation areas? Do they have a big
Okay.
kitchen?
In a
Islands?
typical
Uh-huh.
home here, I would
Mhm.
say the big space is the kitchen,
Okay.
where you have a lot of cooking elements so that you can put a big stock pot of soup, the
Mhm.
arroz caldo,
Right.
and then you have a wok where you can make your pancit, and
Mhm.
you have all these other pots waiting for all these people that are gathered around the kitchen. That seems to be the place where people congregate.
Okay. Right.
And, yeah, and Tina showed a funny video about people. It's in the kitchen. They were doing a white elephant exchange, gift exchange, and the number one prize, a box of Spam.
Yeah. Yeah. About 12 cans of Spam. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all in the
Same thing.
kitchen. They're probably going to get ready to cook it in their rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, rice cooker, very important
Mhm.
thing too, right?
Yes.
And then in the dining room, there is usually a Last Supper picture on the
Mhm. Yes.
wall,
Uh-huh. Yes. Uh-huh.
flanked by a wooden spoon and fork.
Right.
And then you have wooden statues of the Carabao.
Mhm.
There are shell lamps or shell cascading.
Forks
I
and
don't know
spoons.
what that was. My mom had that.
Yeah. Yeah. They have a large wooden forks and spoons.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
those. And then in another, maybe in the entryway or in the living room or a bedroom, there is always a shrine,
Yes.
a religious, a depiction with holy water, with rosary beads, with religious books, with statues of the Virgin Mary and the Jesus, the child Jesus.
Right.
And then just crosses. In probably every room there will be a cross,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
right? And statues in the yard of the
Have you seen
saint.
my house? Have you been in my house?
Oh, is this your house? Am I just
No, no.
And then I was gonna say, the kitchen probably extends out to the back,
Mhm.
where they
Yeah.
have a big area for barbecuing, all this, skewered meats, chicken and pork, and making big pots of adobo out there, and fish. Fish is cooked outside so it doesn't stink up your house,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
always a lot of fish.
Or
in
get it done at
Bagoong.
Seafood City. Buy fish at Seafood City. Let them fry it there. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and what was the other thing? Oh, the family room is huge because people gather to watch sporting events. But the second biggest thing that the Filipinos like to party over is music. And therefore, there's going to be a karaoke machine in every family room.
Yeah. I know I've seen, and this is no joke. I mean, I just went to a party a couple months ago and the whole living room was set up like a karaoke bar. And I mean, that was like always there. It wasn't just for the party. And I know I've been to some houses in Lakewood there where they had 2 giant columns for speakers for karaoke.
Oh my God.
Set up
in a bar.
Yeah, it's just set up for that. And I know, I mean, and let's not forget the piano room. My whole front room is a giant room, and the only thing in it is a giant grand piano and guitars and stuff. So, we always have somewhere for our music, and our piano's usually right there or what have you. But we actually would take up a whole room for karaoke or take up a whole room for like a piano or dance or something. I mean, this is your home. Yeah. This is your party place. This is your, we're going to learn how to tango. Dance is very important. I'm telling you. Filipinos look for a place to dance. There's got to be somewhere with a floor where they can dance because they ain't gonna have
because the traditional dances, the tinikling, the wood, the bamboo sticks, and that takes up a lot of room.
Takes a lot of I was the lead dancer for Folklorica Filipino for like 6 years.
Oh my gosh!
On top of the head, we did the tinikling with this.
The candles.
The
candle thing.
The Benasuan. Yeah, I did all that. Rolled over on the ground, did all that.
Nice.
But where do we rehearse? We rehearsed in somebody's basement where there was a dance floor that had a kitchenette attached. So as far as Filipino families, we like to do it big. I mean, I've got like 5,400 square feet here. It's just me and my daughter. And we just run around. We just want to run around. I mean, room
5,400 square feet.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've got room. Wow. I've got room. And when I was little, like you said, we had. I was talking to my sister today. We had three of us girls living in one bedroom. And I remember always sharing a room with my sister. And I remember my Lula, my sister, and my brother all shared a room at my mom's house up there. Up there in Rainier Beach. And when I got a house, I'm like, I'm gonna have rooms where I can it's just me. It's almost a thing where you always fantasize you're going to have a room by yourself. You're going to have a house by yourself. So I just remember for me, for a lot of my Filipino friends, we have rooms for days. We have rooms for spare. I mean, there's 2 of us, but we've got 4 bedrooms. And so I have a room always because I know I have cousins coming. My friend Julie's going to come next week and visit me. So there's always a room for people to visit. And I have a area downstairs. We do art, we do we record music, we do different stuff. So I have a little area for that. But for me, as a Filipino growing up, I'd have to have somewhere where there's entertainment, there's room for somebody to come visit. I have huge spaces where I can just run because when I was little, I did not have that. And I know I saw another study where a lot of Filipinos have Mercedes. So me and my daughter both had a Mercedes. We just traded them in like 2 months ago, but we had to have a 3-car garage. It's usually a 3-car garage. We don't just buy some little skanky little whatever running around here. We always have a nice car. You know this. And so we have to have a garage. We're not going to have our car sitting out there, so people can come by and trash it and hail hits it and, it gets dirty. So Filipinos have got to usually have a nice car. Yeah. Somewhere to shelter it. So a garage is very important. And if there's 3 or 4 people in the house, you're going to have a 3 or 4 car garage. End of story.
And it's just the status thing. I think a lot of the older Filipinos, it's a status thing to have that car.
Oh, we
were some Mercedes. My mom had a Mercedes, a BMW, and a Jag.
Okay. Haven't
didn't drive.
My daughter, I just bought my daughter a BMW. She got another BMW, and I got a monster Jeep. I have my Camaro in the car too, in the garage too. Oh, we usually have cars like crazy, and it's a status thing. It's like I worked hard. You're gonna know I worked hard when I roll down the street, and so we usually have that. We usually have, what was I going to say? We usually have a place for prayer, like you said. When you come in, the first thing you're going to see is a cross in my house. I have the Blessed Mother all over my doorway, and I have angels, giant angels everywhere. You're going to know.
And baby Jesus everywhere.
I have baby Jesus. I have adult Jesus. I had the Blessed Mother statue from Portugal came to my house last month.
Wow.
Sacred icon, 120 years old. But I had to have a spot. I already knew when I bought a house, people were going to come here. So I had a giant living room that was, the interface with everybody. I have a space knowing that I was going to have prayer groups here. So I mean, I did that. So for us, it's very important. To have our cars, to have the garage, have big giant spaces. I have a St. Francis in my yard. I have to get a Blessed Mother statue because I gave it to my sister when I moved. But yes, I have flowers. I have, all you have to do is drive down the street and know which house is Filipino because there's flowers. There's flowers. And I know
Flowers are a vegetable garden with a
vegetable
big
garden.
squash.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what we grow here in Colorado, but you can, I've grown those too. Maybe you can grow them in Washington State too, but yeah, tomatoes, but I have Lazy Susans out there. I have, I have, One-Eyed Susans, I think it's called. I have flowers galore. But, so when I came here, it was important to me to have a garden, not because we need it, but because we're Filipino, we have to have it, so I have the garden.
Right.
And I know there's not a lot of Filipinos here in Colorado, and I don't know how God would have it, but my neighbor across the street, Lisa, she was Miss Colorado Springs. I was Miss Seattle. She was Miss Colorado Springs. She lives across the street. The gal next door to me, she's from New Mexico. She's part Filipino and Creole too. And that's just a godsend for all three of us to be in the same neighborhood. So all of us the same way. Big houses, big parties. When I say have a party, people come. Because there's going to be food. And so I have a double decker, what's it called? Oven. I got a gas stove, but I get casserole dishes galore. So I have to have a lot of cabinetry because I've got, I've got stuff I have to make lumpia with. I need to have the blenders. I need to have I need to have everything. So, a lot of times we need a lot of cabinets. I mean, if you go to some place and it's minimalist, it better be big minimalist because we've got stuff. We got rice cookers. We've got, we've got pressure cookers. We've got a lot of stuff. So as far as like houses, we have to have a lot of cabinetry.
Yes. All the cooking pots.
The cooking pots.
Yeah, because you could have 6 of them cooking at the same time.
Oh yeah.
That's how we eat.
That's how we do. Of course, people have to bring. And I have a little cabinet for Tupperware because because people come and they take stuff. And I just take stuff.
Yes.
And so now let's not talk about the closets because us Filipino women have shoes.
Don't ask me how many I have.
No, I mean, it's all over. So when it comes to closets, you better not have some little cute little thing. Filipinos want closets. The women and the men. We need to have closet space, preferably a walk-in, where we have all our clothes, all our dresses, all our boleros. We have all our shoes, all our boots, all our purses, because we come rolling. We don't have some little thing we throw in the corner, so cabinets, a lot of cabinet space, a lot of closet space.
Yes.
Maybe even closet over bedroom, but yeah. So that's a huge thing.
You probably use 2 of your other bedrooms closets for your stuff, right?
I do use one room.
At least 2.
Me and my daughter do use one room as a closet. Yes, we do. Yeah, because we have to. I actually, the last thing I remember is I use one of the bedrooms for my office.
Yes, that's right.
Most of us work at home, or we've got, as Filipino, we've got like 2 or 3 jobs on the side. Whatever we do, we're doing something on the side. So it's very important to have a home office, and especially if they have children that they need to study. So one of my girlfriends, Dulce, Dulce, hi. And she lives out in Gig Harbor somewhere. And her house, every room had a bathroom that went with every room. So her kids had rooms with bathrooms. And they had areas where they study. They had offices in their room, so they can actually study too. So usually we look for places where we can study and we can work. So if you've got a Filipino family and there's like maybe 6 kids or something like that, you better have a big home, 7 house, whatever. Because, when we were little, we had to share rooms. But now that we've got money, we want our kids to have all the luxuries we did not have. So they need to have a study space, and we need to have an office space, and they need to have rooms by themselves. We don't want to put them, 5 to a room like we did. I was just texting my sister about this today. We're all sleeping in the same bedroom, fighting with each other. My mother had to beat us because we were fighting with each other. We were all in the same room, and it's just a lot of stuff. So we grew up. We all bought like big houses. Like, I don't want to look at my sister for another 3 days if I don't want to. That type of thing. If I don't want to see my daughter, I can run around my house all day and not see my daughter. So that's kind of one of the things we look for too. But,
there you go.
So we're going to show, we're going to show a little bit about Filipino dress. Filipinos have been dressing to the T for many centuries, many centuries. And as you can see, the ornateness of this dress, I believe it was made out of like bamboo or something.
Bamboo, and then hand embroidered, I would imagine.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's all silk and everything, and but we have very, very high standards as far as clothes and quality of clothes and how we present ourselves. So we're going to show you some traditional dress. We're also going to show you some of the ways people look now. Now, Violeta, a lot of the crowns or the beauty crowns are belong to Filipinos. You know this, right? Miss USA, Miss this, Miss that.
Miss Universe.
Filipino, Miss
Yeah.
Universe, Filipino. So there are current dresses that we want to look at, how they represent themselves, and how they look. But as far as dress is concerned, historically, Filipinos have had a lot to do with influencing attire. It is rumored that the zoot suit was started by Filipinos. The zoot suits are really, really big. Yeah, because we were really small. And so we came out stepping in those zoot suits. So we're showing you here some traditional Filipino wear and some current Filipino wear. Yes.
Okay.
And so as far as if you're Filipino, you just came here from the Philippines, your family has never bought a house. There are some programs now they have in Colorado. If you're a first-time generation, there is a down payment assistance for a first-time generation. I'm not sure if they have that in Seattle yet, but there is a
Specifically for Filipinos, you're saying?
Actually, no, for anybody. Anybody who's first time, if they're the first in their family. So if you're like second or third generation, everybody may have bought a house by then. But if you're first generation, you have not bought a home yet. There are programs out there for that, at least in Colorado. If you want to buy a house, I've got people coming over here that are nurses, that are doctors, physical therapists. They come over here, and they got a contract for 3 years. So we do an HB1 visa, and they get a loan. Okay, first of all, they go out and they buy like Mercedes before I even get to them. So they go out like they buy cars. They're like, oh, hey, Tina, I want to buy a house now. But a lot of times, as soon as they get here, if they're working after a month, we can get them a loan.
Yeah.
If you're somebody that's second or third generation or 16th generation Filipino, you want to buy a house and you want to buy from somebody like Violeta who understands the Filipino community, please reach out to her because not everybody, not every realtor is sensitive to cultural needs. So Violeta had some realtors that were like, I'm not buying this piece of trash. I don't even know why you brought me here. And then I had some realtors that were like, Tina, this is what you need. And they brought me to these wonderful houses and I bought instantly. So if you are looking for a sensitive realtor or loan officer to help you, please give us a call. There are things that we can do culturally that will help that loan go through fast and quickly.
Right.
Yes. So I think that's about it, V.
Really?
Yes, we're at the end.
It's over?
Yes, it's
we're
over.
At the end? Oh, okay. Well, I guess we say goodbye.
Goodbye.
and then have a nice, whether you're celebrating the harvest or Halloween, have fun out there, enjoy yourselves, be safe, and we'll see you next week on Real Estate and Money here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
And I'm Tina Lombard with Novus Home Mortgage. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.